Nancy Pelosi tried to explain away and justify the terrible string of COVID bailout bills. This clip is something else.
So Cuomo says he would have insisted on state funding in the last bill. And now Senator McConnell saying he wants to push the pause button. Yes. Was this a tactical mistake by you and Senator Schumer?
Just calm down. We will have state and local, and we will have it in a very significant way. It's no use going on to what might have been. The administration never even wanted to do. The governors are impatient. I'm a big fan of Governor Cuomo, my own governor. Gavin Newsom has been so spectacular. My mayor, Mayor Breed, the state and local have done their jobs magnificently. They should be impatient. Their impatience will help us get an even bigger number. And that goes for Republican governors, too. Governor Hogan of Maryland has been spectacular in all of this. So it's many governors, many mayors, bipartisan, for us to get the largest amount. I'm sorry that we had to have an intervention because we were going from CARES 1 to CARES 2. The intervention came, we made the most of it. And so, as I say to members, judge it for what it does. Don't criticize it for what it doesn't, because we have a plan.
No, you don't. You certainly do not have a plan. Just so everybody understands, we're on phase 3.5 of COVID-related bills. Phase 3.5. And the reason why the last one was a 0.5 is because they didn't want to do things that were really important for the people, and so they just say, this isn't even a full thing, bro. This is like a half semi-package here. It's not even a real full package, bro. Hey, you can't get mad at me for this. I mean, it's not even a full package. But the next one, by the time we get to the full package, it'll be great. They've been saying this since phase 1, but the next one, like, sure, in this one, I'm going to give the Republicans everything they want. And gonna get Dickie McGee's axe for the people, but in the next one is the one that we're gonna do the thing with the thing, and that's gonna be great. So, listen, Jake Tapper, Tap Jaker, for the first time in his life asked a decent question, and he said, "But hold on now, you don't. I mean, was this a tactical error? You don't even have money for the states in there, and McConnell's telling the states go bankrupt. We don't care." You don't even have money for the states in this newest 3.5 version of the COVID bills. Is that a tactical error on your part and Schumer's part? So he's asking a serious question like, wait, aren't you guys total pushovers, and didn't you make a giant error by not pushing for those things? And her response is, I love this, quote, just calm down. She's reacting to Jake Tapper like, who's your boss? Who's your daddy? I am. Just calm down, all right? Just calm down, son. What are you doing? So condescending. So condescending. Guys, this goes back to something we've pointed out a million times on this show. It's not that Nancy Pelosi doesn't know how to play hardball with the Republicans. She does know how to play hardball, but she only plays hardball with the left. So that's why, they go after Bernie Sanders and the squad way more viciously than they've ever gone after Republicans. So it's not that, oh, she's just weak. No, she actually agrees with the Republicans on a lot of this stuff. Wherever she's making concessions to the Republicans, she's making concessions because she agrees with the Republicans on said issue. So here you have Tap Jaker, for the first time in his life, asking a decent question from a left perspective, going, well, hold on now. We're in version 3.5 of the bill, and we still don't have bailout funds for states? And you got Mitch McConnell out there saying, yeah, let them go bankrupt, and you didn't get Dickie McGee's axe for them? Isn't that sending the message? Yeah, go bankrupt. You got the states doing most of the heavy lifting when it comes to COVID-19, and they don't have their own sovereign currency. They can't make the money printer go burr. So they need money. They need funds. Didn't you make an error here by not getting the money? Just calm down, Jake. Just calm down. Oh, man, that was terrible. And then the most frustrating part is she actually says it, don't judge this bill on what it doesn't do. Judge it on what it does. By that logic, you can never say, hey, this should have been included, which is like the main variety and flavor of criticism that makes sense in this conversation. You see the trick there? The trick is, only look at the provisions that were in the bill, and so just give me credit for what's in there. You're not allowed to ever criticize for that which is not in the bill. But of course I'm going to criticize for what's not in the bill. That's the whole point of the criticism. The whole point is, oh my God, these are ineffectual, terrible bills at best. At worst, they're corrupt giveaways to corporations and the rich. So guys, we're on version 3.5 of the bill. You know what hasn't been in there at all? We haven't had a mortgage freeze. We haven't had a rent freeze. We haven't had money for the states like they were saying. We haven't had universal basic income or recurring stimulus checks. So, according to Nancy Pelosi, www.shh.com, you're not allowed to criticize on the things that didn't make it in the bill. Of course I am. And I'm going to. But see, now the scariest part is this. Have you heard any of the lefties call her out on this? Now you could say, all right, well, whatever, give Bernie and Warren and Sherrod Brown and the nominal lefties in the Senate a pass because they're in the Senate. They're not in the House, and Nancy's in the House. Okay. Ro Khanna, Tulsi Gabbard, Ilhan Omar, AOC, Rashida Tlaib. Now, to be fair to Ilhan, she has been out there, pushing the ideas that I like, UBI, rent freeze. So she's been doing a decent job on that front. But one line they never, ever, ever cross, ever, is calling out the Democratic leaders by name and putting pressure on them specifically and saying, what are you doing? Harnessing the will of the people who they have on their side and saying, hey, everybody, I'm rallying the troops now. Call Nancy's office. Call Chuck Schumer's office. Tell them, here are our list of demands for the next bailout bill. We want a UBI. We want a rent freeze. We want a mortgage freeze. We want money for the states. We want universal testing. They don't do it. They don't do it. Because ultimately, the left responds to Pelosi in the same way that Jake Tapper just did right there. He asked a decent question. Tap Jaker said, hey, did you make a tactical error by not getting money for the states? And she goes, just calm down. And then Tap Jaker's husband, like a little puppy dog. Yes, queen. That's what that is. And then she comes up with a BS line, don't judge the bill on what it doesn't do, judge it on what it does. And, apparently all the so-called fire-breathing lefties are like, all right, yeah, sure, that's cool. The next bill. They've been saying it's going to be in the next bill since phase 1, and we're on phase 3.5, which is phase 4. That's what it is, fourth bill related to this. So you're being played. You are being played. It would be so easy. If the Democrats actually cared about workers, it would be so easy to craft devastating ads that go after McConnell and Trump and the Republicans over this. Because they don't want to give any money to any normal people. They just wanted to use this to fully implement corporate socialism and give the rich all the money. Let them loot the treasury. But see, the problem is, like I said before, Nancy and all the corporate Democrats, which is the majority of the party, the overwhelming majority of the party, they agree with the Republicans by and large. So they agree with them, so they're not going to attack them on the stuff that they agree with them on. So what are you going to attack them on? They don't attack them on Dickie McGee's acts. And then what happens is the Republicans are better liars, so they cut ads calling out Nancy Pelosi, making her look like an out-of-touch elitist because she is an out-of-touch elitist. And they're better at playing politics. They're better at portraying themselves as populists, as if they're fighting for workers when they're not fighting for workers at all. So it's a lose-lose. You get nothing for the people. You give the Republicans everything they want because you secretly agree with it, and then they turn around and hit you in the face and call you an out-of-touch elitist because you are an out-of-touch elitist. Literally the worst leadership humanly possible. And she has no response except, quote, just calm down. Says quite a bit, doesn't it?